Yeah. No
I
problem.
think I just wanted to start the YouTube live as well
Yeah,
parallelly.
please do. Okay. Yes. Right. Just tell me when the
I think we
YouTube,
could just start now. Yeah,
yeah.
you maybe
And
from the introduction part. Yeah.
great. Are the students, so the YouTube channel is live right now, Ashwini, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Right. So warm
We have
welcome
around
also.
30 students have joined there.
Yeah, great. So all of you who have joined the YouTube channel, students, dear students, welcome to this session on communication skills and soft skills, the two programs that your colleges have implemented. And I'm sure that, right, you are already into either the communication skills program or the soft skills program, because it's been a while that they have been implemented at your respective institutes. So again, a warm welcome to all of us, all the students, sorry, joining on YouTube. And I'm sure there might be some students who have directly joined the meeting. So again, a warm welcome for you too, to you too. So what are we doing? We are looking at communication skills and soft skills slightly in more detail, right? Specifically, that we will start with the login process. Of course, that's the very first thing that you need to be comfortable with, right? How to log in to the Quiklrn platform, both on a computer or via a phone, right? So I think we'll have a walkthrough of the login process, and then we'll take a close look at the lab, the English lab. We'll take a look at the features, what's there, where to find, right, the lessons, where to find the activities, what sort of activities are there, and just to show you some exciting activities that we have added, right, to the course for the students, right. We'll walk you through some of the activities, especially the ones that are integrated with AI, so that you can make the most of the activities. Right. So for the first step, I'll hand it over to Ramya. She's going to help us understand the login process. And once she's done, I'm going to take over. Ramya, over to you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ramya, and I'll be going through the login process with you. Let me start by sharing the screen. And in case if I'm going a little fast, please simmer me down. Okay. I hope everybody is able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay. So there are two types of login process, like Sir said. One, we will show it via your laptop or computers, and the next one via your mobile phone. So when you're on your computers or laptops, please open Google and put in home.quiklrn.com. So once home.quiklrn.com is done, you will be able to see your login screen. Now there are two buttons where you can use it to log in. One is the resource button where you can log in using the VTU English lab. And the next one is the login button itself where you see the VTU English lab login, the third login button. So once you click on it, I had already logged in previously. Just a second. So I have a demo ID, which I'll be using it here. Once you put in your ID and password, please check the checkbox here and press the login button. Once you go
Ramya,
in,
just a second, just to add here, the password will be the common password that we have shared with all the colleges. Every college has a unique password, and the unique password is shared with your college librarian. So, in case if you're not aware of your password, please do check it with your librarian. You'll have to use the common password to log in to the portal. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, Ashwini. I totally forgot to mention that. My bad. So yes, once you have logged in, you will be able to see both the courses, the communication skill course and the soft skill course. So whichever course that you are enrolled to, you can simply click on the start button and start taking up the course. So this is one method to log into your account. This method is used via using your laptops or your computers at college. So let's look into how you can log in using your mobile phone. Now I'm showing this on my laptop itself, but your view when you look into it via your mobile screens will be very similar to this. So again, in the mobile also, please use your browser, and via your browser, put in your home.quiklrn.com. Once you get your login page, you will see that you will see this burger icon or the layered icon. When you click on that, you will be able to see all the buttons that you saw previously when you were logging in using your laptops or computers. So the same method also applies here. You can either go via resource and click on the VTU English Lab, or you can click on the login button and go to the VTU English Lab login. Once you do, you need to put in your ID and password. Again, I'm using a demo ID here. And like Ashwini previously said, you will be using your common password that was given to you by your librarian. Once you log in, you will have very similar things, communication skills and soft skills, and click on the course that you're taking up, either soft skills or communication skills. So that is how you log in. Over to you, Gautam, sir.
Yeah. Okay. M2 interpersonal skills. All right. So thank you. Thanks, Ramya. What are we going to do now? We're going to get into the lab. Okay. So we know the login process. We know how to log in both on the computer and on the phone. So once we've logged in, what do? Where do we go? Let's take a look at that. So I'm going to share my screen, and we need to share the sound. Okay. So, right. Let's start from here. Now we're looking at the communication skills lab. And again, right, I know that almost all of you would have used either the communication skill lab or the soft skills lab to some extent, but still, right, just in case some of you are not very sure about the features and the navigation, I'm going to help you with that right now. So what do you see here? What do you see here? You see the communication skills lab, and what's important is this column on the left, right, where you see module 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then at the very beginning you see the about the lab, which is a little bit of info about the lab and how it's going to benefit you. When I say you, I mean the students, right, and the know your level test. I believe that most of you would have written the know your level test already, students. In case you haven't, then of course, right, you need to write this right away, because it's good to know where you stand currently as far as your essential communication skills are concerned, right? And this gives you a CEFR score. Don't worry too much about the CEFR score. Just know that the CEFR is assessment is a gold standard assessment for communication skills, and it'll place you either on A1 or A2, which means that your skills are at a beginner level, B1 and B2, which means that your skills are at a learner or a intermediate level, and C1 and C2, which essentially means that your skills are at a very advanced level, not very advanced, right? So you should aim to slowly, not right away, right? So when you write the later test, you should aim to move from where you currently are, perhaps A2 or B1, move up, B2 up to C1, even C2, why not? Okay. And again, those of you who haven't written this, please write this ASAP. Okay. Now, how has the course been arranged, right? So you see there are 5 modules. There are 5 modules in communication skills. There are also 5 modules in soft skills, right? And to access a module, all you have to do is click on that module. For example, I want to access module 1, right? I click on module 1, and what do I see? I see 3 things, right? Do you see three things? Do you see concept building, the first section? You see practice activities, the second section, and you see the module test, the third section. Now, concept building is where you're going to learn the concepts, right? So this is super important because if you don't know the concepts, how will you apply the concepts when it comes to real application, right? For example, when you click on M1 communication skills, you're going to see 3 links. So that means there are 3 concept building parts here. So one link or any link, for example, if I click on communication skills, right, this will take you to an interactive book. Okay, this is an interactive book that you are looking at. Why is it interactive? It's interactive because it's got interactive videos. I'll show you a video very soon, don't worry. Okay, but our videos are interactive, they're fun, they're short, and they're interactive in the sense you got to answer questions as you are watching, right? Before you can progress. So you got to be watching it and not doing something else while the video is on. So one thing that makes it interactive, of course, is the interactive videos. Another thing that makes it interactive is the fact that all our learning notes, right? These are 4 slides, we call them notes, right? Are integrated with questions. For example, you read what's here, you go through what's here, and then you answer a question pertaining to what that note was all about. So after listening, active listening, tone of voice are all key components of verbal communication. Is it? Let's say, I think it's true. Yeah, it's true, right? So you have feedback for the correct options, feedback for the wrong options, so that even if you get something wrong, you have something to learn from the feedback. Okay. So what have we just learned? We've learned that concept building is mostly through interactive books where you have interactive videos and, right, slides with integrated questions. Okay, that's how concept building takes place. I'll explain the video in a little more detail later. Let's just understand the overall structure first. Okay. So we've understood concept building, right? We're introduced to the concepts. What comes after concept building? Application of those concepts, right? Because you learn something, if you've learned something new, you got to apply it, right? And application only happens through what? Activities and practice, right? So here you have the practice activity section for M1 communication skills. As you can see, there are lots of activities, easy, medium, right, and hard. And you might wonder, why are there so many activities? There's so many activities because the more you practice, the better you get, right? And we don't want to bore you with just a few activities of the same kind. So we've ensured that our activities are very different from, each other. So you're not going to find 2 activities that almost resemble each other, right? There's a lot of variety so that the learning and the excitement do not die down. Okay. So practice activities is where you access all the activities, and then comes the module test. So once you're done with the concept building, once you're done with practice activities, you write the module test for that particular topic, right? And students, again, please try to get at least, I mean, a 70% on the test, right? Or an 80% on the test, right? Don't be happy with a 30 or a 40%. If you get a low percentage, if your score is not that satisfactory, go back to the concept building, go back to the practice activities, and, work on those skills and come back and write the module test again. And again, faculty members and stakeholders, right, all the facilitators here, do remember that the module test score is a very good indicator of how much your student has learned, right, as far as that particular topic is concerned. A poor score essentially means the student should revisit the concept building and the practice activities again, and then reattempt the module test. Okay, right? So what have you understood? We've understood the structure, right? For every module, it's the same structure, okay? The architecture is the same. There's concept building, there's practice activities, and there is the module test, right? So for soft skills 2, you're going to find that it's identical to this, right? You've got 5 modules, and every module has got 3 distinct learning stages. Okay, great. So now let's dive a little into concept building. Let's dive a little into the activities, right? So that we know how to make the best use of the available resources. So what we'll do first is, let's do one thing. Okay, for example, let's go to communication skills module 1, right? And you'll see that in concept building, there is something around speaking and listening. And if you remember, this is the interactive book. All the subtopics are on the left, right? You just need to click on any chapter or any topic, and you get the corresponding video or the corresponding note. And as you can see, it's quite colorful. It's quite fun. I mean, it's not drab and dry, and it's not like a textbook. Okay, that's why we call it an interactive book. Okay. So for example, what you have done this time, you've learned about sounds. Okay, you've learned a little about phonetics. You've learned how to make the right sounds. Okay, you've learned about perhaps syllables or stress. Explore it, of course. Explore it. These are all what would you call it? These are all, I mean, bits and pieces that can really help you improve your confidence when you speak English, right? Because if you're making the right sounds, you're going to sound good. You're going to sound professional. You're going to sound educated, right? So go through the topic, the concept building part here. And once you're done, right? Once you're done, right, you got to see whether you've actually absorbed or you've actually got what that particular concept was meant to teach you, or what that particular lesson was meant to teach you. Okay. So what do you do next? You go to where? You go to practice activities. And this is why practice is so important. You get a chance to actually speak, right? You're learning pronunciation, right? You're learning pronunciation, right? And if you don't get a chance to open your mouth and make the right sounds, so that's not enough, right? That learning is incomplete. So I'm going to show you one activity around pronunciation. Let's go to the activity past the past, right? Why am I showing you this activity? This is a special activity because it has AI integrated, okay, in the process, in the learning process and in the feedback process. So the activity is quite simple, students, and of course, right, faculty members and everyone else here, right? How would students benefit from doing this activity? So what is the name of the activity? It's past tense storytelling challenge. So here we are trying to make sure that our pronunciation of words in the past tense is on the spot, right? It's as it should be. So you can explore this, of course, in more detail on your own, and I would encourage you to do that. But I'll just show you how it's attempted, how it's done, right? Now, this is a read aloud activity. It has got 2 modes. It's got an easy mode, we call practice, and then it's got the read mode, right, which is a slightly more advanced version. So let's look at the practice mode, the easy mode. See, normally what happens is, as students, right, sometimes we don't know how to pronounce a word, right? And the way to learn how to pronounce that word properly is how? Is by listening to someone else who is correctly pronouncing that word, right? So that's how you're going to learn. And that's how you've learned every language that you speak. So whatever language you speak, you might speak Kannada, you might speak Tamil, you might speak, what else? I don't know, whatever languages. India has got a plethora of languages, right? You have learned a language by listening to that language, right? So here exactly the same thing is going to happen. So here you'll be expected to read, right? But before you read, you have the opportunity to listen to the speaker. And then all you have to do is repeat after each sentence and check your pronunciation. Okay, so let's see how this works. So I click on the first sentence. I want to read the first sentence, but I have to listen to it first so that I am making the right sounds. My pronunciation is on the spot. Okay, so let's click on the first sentence.
Yesterday, I bumped into an old friend at the coffee shop.
So what did I do? I clicked on play, and what happened? The first sentence was spoken loud and clear. I hope all of you could hear it, right? All of you could hear it. So now I have listened to that sentence. I got to repeat the sentence aloud. Okay? Let me do that for you. I need to click on the green button first. Yesterday, I bumped into an old friend at the coffee shop. What do you see? You see that some words are in green. Green means I pronounce the words correctly. Some words are in red. Red means I did not pronounce the words clearly, or perhaps, there was a problem with some of the sounds, or it might not have been clear or loud enough, right? What do? I reattempt it, right? Or I carry on, but I know exactly which words I got right and which words I didn't get right. So let's see. Let's carry on, and let's try to do a better job with the next sentence. I'll click on play.
We hadn't seen each other in years.
I'm going to say the same thing now. We hadn't seen each other in years.
So we chatted and laughed for hours.
So we chatted and laughed for hours.
She told me about her new job
Okay.
as a dog groomer and showed me pictures of her adorable furry clients.
So you see that, right? You see that? You will know exactly which words you're pronouncing correctly, which words you're not pronouncing correctly. And this immediate feedback will help you fix your pronunciation mistakes, right? This is the practice mode, right? And then what do? I can go back to the return menu, and then if I want to read without having to listen, right? This is the harder version of the same activity. Here I just have to read, and I'm going to get feedback on my accuracy, on my clarity, on my word speed, etc. Okay, let's take a look. Yesterday, I bumped into an old friend at the coffee shop. We hadn't seen each other in years, so we chatted and laughed for hours. Okay. So for the sake of time, I have stopped that here. But then you just need to stop it once you're done. You need to click on check for results. And it's checking, as you can see. It's taking a while because it's analyzing my voice, my pronunciation, right? And it's going to give me some feedback that's going to help me improve. Okay, so the report is there. Click on view full report. I made 0 mistakes, guys. 0 mistakes, right? So I just spoke 2 sentences, but I made 0 mistakes. Look, so that's very nice, right? That's very nice. So what is here? The gray part, the grayed out part, I didn't reach here. So this has not been analyzed. From yesterday to ours, this has been analyzed. And as you can see, I've made 0 mistakes. So well done, right? Okay. Now, do you understand what value such an activity can bring, right? From the student's perspective, right? You are getting immediate feedback. You are fixing your errors immediately, and you are aiming for 100% accuracy, right? So those of you who are not so confident readers or even speakers, right? Those of you who feel that you need to improve your pronunciation skills, and that applies to all of you, right? All of you would benefit from these read aloud activities. Okay, so this was one activity I wanted to show you, right? And this was part of Module 1, Communication Skills, which covers phonetics and speaking. Okay, so let's close this now. Now, another activity that I had planned to show you today, I think we still have time, so let me use that time. Okay, I wanted to show you a concept video because we haven't properly looked at the concept video yet. And for this, I'm going to go to module 2, interpersonal skills. And I want to show you something around how to introduce yourself. This is a very, very important skill. Your ability to introduce yourself confidently and professionally and effectively. Okay. So I have gone to interpersonal skills, that's module 2. And as you can see,
opportunity to highlight key experiences.
Okay, I already have this concept video open. So this is, if you see on the left, anything with CV, students, anything with CV, CV stands for concept video. Okay. So if you see the prefix CV, if you see CV, if you see the word CV, just remember that that particular resource is a concept video. Okay. Now, what do our concept videos look like? I'll just play this once and you take a look for yourself.
Introduction. Starting with a present tense statement immediately establishes your...
Yeah, hold on. I'll just give the background. How do you introduce yourself in interviews? You start with the present, then go to the past, and then talk about the future. Okay, so that's exactly what you learn in this video. Okay, just hold on. Yeah.
Starting with a present tense statement immediately establishes your current role or situation, making your introduction feel immediate and relevant. It helps your audience connect with who you are right now, setting the tone for the conversation ahead. The second part of your introduction in past tense offers an opportunity to highlight key experiences or achievements that shaped who you are today. This could include your education, previous roles, or notable accomplishments. It helps your audience understand your journey and qualifications in relation to the current conversation or opportunity. The third part of your introduction, which is future-oriented, allows you to express excitement and ambition for the opportunities ahead. It's a chance to align your goals with the current context, showing how your skills and aspirations will contribute to future success. This part conveys optimism and demonstrates that you're forward-thinking and motivated.
Okay, so let's see whether you're paying attention. Right, I'm talking to all of you. I'm talking to the faculty members. I'm talking to the librarians who might be present here. Right, and I'm talking to the students, of course. Right. So let's see whether you're paying attention. You're in a job interview and the interviewer asks you the common question, tell me about yourself. A strong response to this question should follow a chronological order, starting with your earliest experiences and leading up to your current situation. Is the answer true or is the answer false? Is it true or is it false? Okay. Okay. Can I see? I don't know how many of you are here. Yeah. Can I get some answers? Okay. Or those of you on YouTube, students, I'm sorry you'll not be able to share your responses, but those of you who are here on the meeting link, right? Anyone was paying attention? Anyone in a position to answer the question? Should your answer, self-introduction, be chronological, starting with the past, coming to the present? Come on. Any responses? You can just put your answer in the chat box. Still waiting. No one? Should your response, should a self-introduction follow a chronological pattern? False. Okay. Meenakshi ma'am, I am assuming that you are a faculty member. Meenakshi ma'am, thank you so much for responding. Its answer is false. Yes, answer is false and wonderful. That's wonderful. You were paying attention. You get full points, right? Thank you. Thank you for responding. Let's go back to the screen. Okay. So as Meenakshi ma'am said, it's false, right? Because start with the present, then go to the past, then go to the future. So not a chronological order. Check your response, read the feedback, continue.
Body language while introducing yourself.
Yeah. So this is what makes these concept videos interactive, right, students? So you got to pay attention, right? You cannot be doing two things or multitasking while you're watching this video. So don't do that. That's not effective, especially when you're learning something new. Okay. So you've seen how, or you've watched something, right? Some instructions you have learned on what? On how to introduce yourself, right? The order at least. So you continue. You can watch the rest of the video later, right? But let's see. Let's look at an activity around this particular topic, self-introduction. Okay, so I'm going to go to the activity part for, yeah, let's close this. Yeah, I click on practice activities. And I find this activity in the medium level, introduce yourself with impact. I click on it, right? And what do you see here? You see that there's some information, right? Introduce yourself with impact. This describes the activity. This is around a formal introduction. This is an activity based on an informal introduction. We will, for today, look at the formal introduction. Click here to record your response. Okay, now, you got to pay attention to this, okay? At the beginning of every activity, you have some pointers or some guidelines that you should follow. So in this case, what is the activity? Formal introduction, right? So imagine yourself in an interview setting. So what are the guidelines? Be professional, right? Give relevant information, mention your name, your skills, your experience, your educational background, right? Use formal language and be concise. So pay attention to the pointers always, okay? And then when you scroll down, you will see the activity again, the topic. You'll see that there are some target words that you need to include in your response. Total words goal, you need to speak at least 60 words. Target time, you have 1 minute to complete this task, right? 1 minute will start as you start speaking, okay? Not before that. So once you're ready, all you have to do is click on start. So when you click on start, what do you see again? You see the same pointers, but this time you see a mic icon, okay? The mic icon is what you need to press, right? You need to press the mic icon and you need to record your self-introduction. So I'll do it for you, all right? I'll do it for you and we'll see what happens after this. We'll see what happens after this. My name is Gautam. I am a third year. I'm studying in my third year. I'm doing computer science, and I am also doing an internship with Infosys, and I'm learning a lot of things in the internship. My hobbies are playing football and cricket, and I'm wanting to put my experience and my education into contributing uh, to your team. Thank you. Okay, so that was not a good self-introduction, not good at all, right? But I don't know that, right? I don't know that. I think it's good, right? So because somebody has to tell me it's not good and why it's not good, right? So let's find out what were the problems with the self-introduction, right? So I click on next. Students, you can always listen to the model answer before you submit. The model answer is an example of what a good self-introduction is like, right? A good formal self-introduction is like. I'll just play this once.
Good morning. My name is Ashok Sharma, and I'm a recent graduate from the University of Delhi. I've done my master's in computer science, specializing in artificial intelligence.
Yeah. So you listen to it, right? And make sure you listen to it and then click on done. Okay. What's happening now? all of you, students and faculty members, librarians, those of you who don't know, right? We have trained these large language models using hundreds of interview questions and responses so that, right, the language models have the right set of instructions that enable them to analyze, right, every response to an interview question or to any, right, speaking or writing activity based on the parameters that we have instructed the model to focus on, right? In simple terms, right, every question is analyzed across, every response to a question is analyzed across a set of certain points or parameters that differ from question to question. Okay? And just think of it this way. What would the interviewer focus on? Right? The AI is focusing on exactly the same elements, exactly the same points. Right? For example, okay, yeah. I've got my analysis here. I've got 4 stars out of 5. Right? I'll come to the parameters very soon, but let's take a look at what's on the screen. I've got 4 stars out of 5. Why didn't I get 5 stars, right? Let's see. I don't know, right? I should have got 5 stars, right? It was such a good introduction. But no, it was not such a good introduction. Why? Because look, first of all, I made a lot of grammatical mistakes. So students, these are the exact words I have spoken, okay? And these are all the mistakes I have made, which are highlighted in red. And every word highlighted in green is a correction, right, that's being offered by the system. So I said I am studying, I'm in my 3rd year, I should have just said, right, I am studying, I'm in my 3rd year, right, of studying computer science, right? I made a lot of mistakes around unnecessary usage of words, some grammatical mistakes, I'm sure, right? And everything is being highlighted and corrected here. The second thing is what I was talking about, right? The AI, the large language models, are focusing on these parameters for this specific response. Was it relevant? Was the tone professional? Was it concise? Was I confident, right? What was the grammatical accuracy like? What was the structure and organization like? And what are the suggestions for improvement? Okay. Now, why should you pay attention to these parameters? Because this is telling you exactly where you have gone wrong. For example, relevance was fine. Okay. Relevance was fine, but my language could have been more formal. So it was not as formal as it could have been, right? The delivery was clear, but the speaker could express more confidence. I think I hesitated a lot, right? So that's not a sign of confidence. Right? And what are the suggestions for improvement? Okay, what about structure? What about grammatical accuracy? Yes, there were a few grammatical errors, right? The structure was okay, but the information could be organized more effectively. And most importantly, what could I do for improvement? Consider elaborating on specific skills and experiences gained from the internship. If you remember, I talked about the internship, but I didn't talk about my learnings from the internship. I didn't talk about what skills I learned. I should have mentioned that, right? So that is the first thing I need to pay attention to. Use more formal language, ensure grammatical accuracy, organize the information to highlight key points more effectively. So students, when you do this activity, when you do it for the first time, maybe your score is going to be 3 stars, right? Or maybe you're going to get 2 stars, but that's okay. That's okay because you know exactly which areas do you need to focus on, and you just need to focus on the parameters mentioned, focus on the suggestions given, incorporate those points and come up with a better response and reattempt the activity and get a 4-star or a 5-star. Why not, right? You also get CFR level grading. This is A2. A2 means bad. As a level, it's bad as in it's just my hold on English is poor. That's what it's saying, right? But don't get discouraged, right? Don't get discouraged. Why? Because, well, it's good to know that I'm currently at an A2 level. My response is at an A2 level. I need to move to B1, B2, and C1, right? I know my journey. And doing these activities and learning from the feedback and reattempting this or doing similar activities will help me make progress, right? From A2 to B1, B1 to B2, and so on. So there's no limit as to what you can achieve. Okay. Words per minute, 80. Again, students, remember, it's good to speak around 90 to 100 words, 110 words a minute. 80 is a little slow, right? The interviewer might just get a bit bored. Okay. So what did we look at? We looked at an activity around formal introduction. This is an AI integrated activity. The interface for the AI integrated activities will be similar, okay? And you need to understand what to focus on. You need to focus on the suggested corrections, and you need to focus on the parameters, right? The detailed feedback you get to improve and to, again, progress and grow. Okay. So now we have been focusing on communication skills. I want to just take you quickly to soft skills. Soft skills, why? Because, yeah, I mean, it's not fair, right? Giving all the attention to communication skills, we should give some attention to soft skills too. So I'll go back to soft skills. As you can see, soft skills, the interface is the same. You've got 5 modules here. What I'm going to do is I want to take a look at module 1, I think, if I am correct. Module 1. Module 1 is about social skills, right? And it's good to work on your social skills, students. Why? Because these are the skills that will decide how popular you are at the workplace, right? How many friends you have, right? Whether the boss likes you or not, or whether, I don't know, yeah, whether you're climbing up the career ladder quickly enough, right? It's all your social skills, not just your technical skills that really play a huge role. Now, just to support what I have said, let's look at an activity. This is in practice activities M1, social skills, module 1. I feel. Okay, and why am I highlighting this activity? Faculty members and facilitators, because again, this is an activity that I would want you also to push your students towards what? Completing. Okay. Now, yeah, this is too tiny for you. I think I'll just expand it a bit. Yeah. It's a simple activity that helps us express ourselves in a more mature, in a more emotionally intelligent manner. Okay. This is around emotional intelligence. For example, let's understand what's happening here. Reword the blaming statement into one that starts with I feel and say it aloud as if you're speaking to a classmate or a friend. So what you'll see is you'll see a blaming statement. You need to reword the blaming statement in such a way that it stops being blaming, right? Focus on expressing your feelings to promote understanding without placing blame. For example, instead of saying, I hate this, right? I hate you, or right, you make me, I don't know, so angry, your behavior, right? Or why are you like this? So that's not the way to speak as far as being emotionally intelligent is concerned. So how do you express, right, your feelings without putting blame on the person? Remember, the moment you put blame on a person, the person becomes defensive, and there is the end of communication. Okay, right. So what is the blaming statement? You always take credit for my work. Okay, what's the blaming statement? You always take credit for my work. What is my job? I need to begin my statement. I need to express the same thing, but in a more mature, intelligent manner and in a non-blaming manner, right? I need to begin my sentence with I feel. I need to rephrase the blaming statement and instead come up with a statement that promotes understanding, right? And remember, I need to start my statement with I feel, okay? And make sure that it's not blaming anymore, all right? It's not accusatory anymore. Okay, so again, I'm going to start, right? You can listen to this also, the blaming statement.
You always take credit for my work.
So it doesn't sound...
You always take credit for my work.
Yeah. It doesn't sound nice, right? It sounds harsh. It sounds accusatory. I'll give him. Yeah, it sounds accusatory, right? And if somebody says this to you, you're going to defend yourself, obviously, right? But so how to say the same thing in a more emotionally intelligent manner, beginning with I feel. Let's do that. All right, this is quite interesting, right? I feel that I feel upset. I feel upset because whenever I do good work, I don't get the credit, and you somehow get the credit. That is not fair. Okay. See, did I do a good job of expressing myself in a manner that promotes understanding and avoids assigning blame? No, right? I did not. Right? I did not. That's why I just got 2 stars. Look, I just got 2 stars, right? This is the feedback here. What did I say? I feel upset. I feel upset because whenever I do good work, I don't get the credit. Somehow you get the credit. That's not fair, right? So why did I get 2 stars, right? Why did I not get 3 or 4 or 5? I know it because my sentence was very, very accusatory. It was quite hostile, It will not promote understanding. So now the feedback tells you what exactly went wrong. The student statement begins with I feel, which is a good start. However, the statement quickly shifts to blaming language by saying you somehow get the credit. A more effective use of I feel language would focus on the student's emotions and experiences. So I should say instead, I feel disappointed when my efforts aren't recognized. Right? Or I feel overlooked when my contributions aren't acknowledged. So you see, the AI or the feedback is not just pointing out what was wrong. It's also telling you exactly what to say. I feel overlooked when my contributions aren't acknowledged. Right? I feel it would be more fair if my contributions were acknowledged. So look, you have been given alternatives to what you said originally, right? And what are we learning here, students? We are learning the fact that in the real world, you cannot speak like that. You cannot speak like the way I spoke, right? Because that will not take you anywhere. That will be the end of the conversation, right? If you want to work in a team or you want to get ahead, right, you have to learn how to express your feelings in an acceptable, non-accusatory manner. And that's just one of the many exercises that we have, which is part of M1, social skills, right? And again, right, faculty members, librarians and students, please explore these activities, these resources, because we're learning real skills here, skills that will play a huge role, right, when I'm facing the world outside college. Okay, so that's it on my part. I'll just go back to the original screen. Yeah, I'm good to see that. I'm happy to see that you guys are still here. I'm sorry, I've used the word guys. Yeah, but the fact that you're still here, I hope that you have seen something that you feel, right, will bring a lot of value to your students. And I had again, I remember faculty members, I had already taken you through the facilitator guides for soft skills and communication skills the last time. In case you missed out on that session, right, we have the video recordings for every session conducted till now, right? Where is it exactly accessible, Ashwini? Where are the video recordings links? Anyone? Ramya? Okay.
It is already shared on the mail with all the colleges,
Okay.
so they can
Okay.
access it. And also, yeah, we'll put it in the chat here as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ashwini. Yes, because see, if you want to just go through the part where we discussed the facilitator guides the last time, do access the video recording for session 6. I believe that was session 6. Yeah. Okay. Great. So we're at the end of today's session. I hope that you learned something from it, and students, right, you need to just immerse yourself in the activities, in the lessons, and make the most of the resource that you have. If you use it correctly, it can make a huge difference, right? Not just to your communication skills or your soft skills, but also your confidence. Yeah. Okay. Any questions before we end? anything around what you have seen or the login process, anything at all? Okay, I don't think so, which is absolutely fine. And right. Okay. Great. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. And right, that's the playlist. Okay, that's the playlist. Where have you shared it? In the chat box, right? So these are all the. Thank you so much, Netra. Thank you so much. Please take a look at the chat box, and you'll see the links to all the past sessions, the recordings, and also the links to the facilitator guides, communication skills and soft skills, right? You also have the login guide, which is a short video. Right, so everything that you need, right, is right here. The links are there in the chat box. Okay. All right, so we'll call it a day, and we'll see you again in the next session. We'll bring something new for you from the two programs, and yeah, please explore the platform till then, and have